It's your girl, Arttisticsoul, and welcome to my YouTube channel, where I'm going to share with you how to and style, art, and entertainment. So here we go. So today I'm going to share my adoption story. I'm going to take you from as far back as I can remember, and I'm going to bring you towards the present 2020. This is an emotional conversation for me. It's an emotional situation to be sharing, and so I just invite you into my world. My apologies in advance. I realized that my whole face was not in the camera, so please just bear with me. This is my adoption story. Catholic Home Board Agency. I believe that it was in Manhattan. I remember taking the cab ride trip to the agency. I remember seeing trees, and I love scenery. I actually realized then that I get motion sickness. The ride seemed long to me, but I couldn't even tell you really how it is. Tall and slim like olive oil, and I don't remember anything much about it, Dad. I remember there was a man that my mother was in a relationship with, and it seemed to be abusive. From my visuals, the main memory I have of my mom is this man standing over her in a threatening position, and she's on the floor scooting back. There's a lot of things that I don't remember about my last name switched from Booker to McLean. They give you a whole new birth certificate, and which eliminates any of the other information dealing with your town. And at that time, the birth certificates were kept in the library, birth certificate library. And I didn't even know how to start. I didn't know what to search for. I have no recollection of any information. I don't remember none of my siblings' names. No, I do. I think my brother's name was Eze, and I don't know if that was his nickname, so I thought his name was maybe Ezekiel. But my other siblings, I could pass them in the street and have no idea who they are. And so I found out that my mother's last name was Grant. Now, I did Ancestry, but again, I didn't know any information. I didn't know how my mother spelled her first name. I thought her last name was Booker. Upon looking in the library, I guess by my name, I found out that her last name was Grant. That was kind of as far as I was, you know, I had to go through the phase of get the courage, like, what if I reach out to this person, you know, my biological mother and or family, if I actually find somebody and they don't want to see me. So I'm like, okay, that could be a thing. And I had to kind of work through that, right? Because nobody necessarily wants to be rejected. Nobody wants to be rejected. So I want to say I dealt with that. Just thinking about it still, I guess, bothers me. And so it was fine. And so I kind of got through that hoop, and I was able to, you know, I reached out to some of the numbers that was in the phone book. Because a lot of times, like my mom, she has the same number, so the numbers haven't changed. And so I'm like, well, let's start there. And I did make some phone calls, and I left some messages after I got enough courage to do that. I even did a little bit of a search on Facebook, but again, I don't know much. And if my siblings are similar to me mentally, they may not remember. And maybe we weren't supposed to remember so much that has happened when we were younger. Maybe that's God's mental block for myself, right? And God is like, no, I don't want you to remember these things. Go for it. Go for why it happened, but I don't hate my mom. I don't hate my father. I think at one time I was angry more at my father than my mother. And then we had a sermon during online quarantine time. Pastor Isaiah, Prophet Isaiah, really spoke directly into that. And in the midst of the sermon, I am just bawling out here, right? And, you know, and I had to say out loud that, Mom, I forgive you for not raising me. You know, Dad, I forgive you for not raising me. And sometimes you don't know if something is still affecting you, right? But just that word and forgiving your parents and how good God is that that they listened to God and brought me into this world, right? Because I could have not been here. She could have had an abortion. And maybe her main task in life was to have us and bring us into this world. And then I'm like, you know what? I never really looked at it. The agency was burnt down, so all my paperwork that was in there prior to being adopted, no access to it. And I'm like, nah, I just cry. Because I'm like, I really was hoping to open and find something different, and I didn't. I just wanted to know something different. And I don't know anything more than I knew before. So, you know, he's like, just chill, you know, take some deep breaths. And, you know, and he prayed with me. And I'm not sure, maybe God doesn't want me to know more. And then I have to accept that. And then I ask God to take that desire to want to know out of my spirit. I just feel like I've been hitting a wall. And those who know me know how important this is to me. But I know that God is my birth parent, right? It's my biological father, because he allowed me to be brought into this world. And so here we go. And it's challenging. The search continues. I'm going to call Vital Records and kind of figure out what happened, and maybe I filled out the application wrong. I don't know. And I definitely keep you updated and people updated about where we're at and what's the process. I really hope I can find some stuff.